So the tunnel is 1.25 miles long. Other than these, which I believe is where the lights used to be, which you probably saw earlier in the video, there's really not that much to explore. Although this looks interesting. But I am certainly not going in there. So this is the other side of the tunnel, and we have a little opening here, but I still have 12 miles to run, so I'm not going to be checking that out. This is the other side of the tunnel. Hello. Hi. Thank you. So I really would like to explore up there, but I don't think, even on the way back, I don't think I'm going to be able to, because there's a, what do you call that? I guess a aid station. And I don't think it would be too cool to try. Actually, I don't know how I would get up there, because you have rock on this side and you have stone on this side. All right, it's time to start running. And I'll turn the camera on every time I see something worthy of video. But it's all pretty much the same the whole way down. Like I said, I ran this before, but however, I believe there is another tunnel that we're going to be going through. Not 100% sure, but if memory serves me correct, I believe there is. So I will definitely be back with some more video. So I'm about 4 miles in, and I came across this. Old concrete. I guess it's not all that interesting. I'm not sure, so I will research this, but I believe initially those tunnels were built for the railroad. There used to be a railroad that ran through here before they turned it into the turnpike. But as I said, I'm not 100% sure. All right, I better get running or I'll be out here all day. All right, so as you can probably see, we are coming up on tunnel number 2. I don't know, I'll get a little closer so you can see. It's kind of a cool sight because you see all the headlamps running through it. From far away, it looked like there was a train coming. So I will say this, if you're into seeing the tunnels, but you don't want to do a long walk or run, because it's about 5 miles in between the 2 tunnels, best way to do this would be a bike. A bike would be great, or even an e-bike if you have one. All right, so I'm about to enter the tunnel. So I guess you can see some headlamps coming through. I don't know if that's coming through on my GoPro, but it actually looks pretty cool. And there's a look at the tunnel. Again, we have graffiti. And we have another doorway here. Comes in, small room. Looks like we have electrical outlets here. Little window. So as you know, I have a race to finish. I'm guessing I'm about 6 miles in, maybe six and a half, almost the halfway point. So I'm going to run through the tunnel now, and I'll maybe explore it on the way back. So, not sure if there's as much to see with this tunnel as the last one. But it's cool. I'm going to try to keep this on so you can see the group of people coming by with the headlamps. which makes for a kind of cool sight. We have more of these, which I believe this was the lighting in the tunnel. And you do need a flashlight or a headlamp because, you know, we have a bunch of people running through this, but I've walked through this before and it's dark. All right, so I'm gonna turn the camera off, run through this tunnel, and I can see the other side of it, so it's definitely not as long as the last tunnel. The last tunnel was 1.25 miles. This is not even close to that. So turning the camera off. All right, so I'm at the halfway point of the half marathon and it continues on. I'm not sure how far this continues. I almost want to say it's like a 14-mile stretch that's still in existence, but not sure. Now I'm gonna head back and it pretty much looks like the other tunnel. Just amazing, like something like this was built and then it's not even being used anymore. I find that interesting. Rays Hill Tunnel, so there you go, that's the name of the tunnel. All right, so then we have a little room in here. And we have steps. I'm gonna take a quick walk up here, but I'm not gonna stay long because I don't think I'm supposed to be here. There's a lot of people around. Okay, so the steps die here. I am not going up there, but I'm gonna assume it looks very similar to what we saw earlier. Okay, so I'm looking at the tunnel. I ran through it, so I'm on the other side of it now. But I wanted to show you this. Right here, if you can see, is the concrete divider. And you got a lane here and a lane here. And if you remember what the tunnel looked like, I don't think I'm gonna run back down there, but it's thin. So you had traffic going this way and this way. So I think this spot right here shows us why they had to change something. So anyway, like I said earlier, there were a lot of accidents. And I think when this turnpike was built, they didn't realize the advent of so many automobiles, I guess. So by 1968, most people had a car, and the population, I guess, was much larger, so this wasn't feasible anymore. There would be huge traffic jams, from what I understand. All right, Jen, get back, start running. So I'm about 10 miles in. I might have like 2.5 miles to go. And this is whenever I do a run like this, it gets difficult because this is not a loop, it's an out and back. So I was here already. And to be honest with you, if you come here to check this out, it's kind of boring in between the two tunnels. I mean, it's a nice walk, but it's pretty much just this the whole way. And then you have on this side, forest, and on that side, forest. I did see some markers for some trails. There was one called the High Waterfall Trail. So I'm thinking that's probably pretty cool. If I have some energy later today, I think I'm going to maybe look for a trail and do a little bit of hiking. So anyway, I'm gonna start running again because I want to finish this, but I do see the first tunnel we are coming back to at this point. I got a buzzard flying around. I guess it thinks I'm gonna die. So I always like to give a little recommendation whether I think this is a place you should check out or not. I definitely think it is. I mean, these tunnels are very cool. and there's a lot to explore. But if you're with children, I gotta tell you, I don't have a problem with graffiti, but the graffiti is vulgar, nasty, pretty horrible. So just be careful where you aim your flashlight if you're with children. Other than that, absolutely come check this out. And if you're a runner and you'd like to do this, I did it last year too, and I enjoyed it, and I'm enjoying it again this year. Taking it a lot slower because I'm actually stopping and exploring a little bit as I go along. But there's plenty of aid stations, and when you go into these tunnels, like I'm gonna guess it's probably like 72 degrees right now, maybe a little hotter, maybe like 70, 72, 75, somewhere in that area. But when you go into these tunnels, it's like air conditioning. No joke, it really is. It's like air conditioning. Okay, so as I'm walking along, not that this is all that interesting, but an old iron door. You can tell it's a door because there used to be a doorknob there, and you've got the hinges. sometimes I can't think of a word, but anyway, you have the hinges. So another remnant of the past. And as I said before, I think, and I'm gonna check this out, but I think this was a rail line before they turned it into the turnpike. All right, so coming up on the tunnel again. Is the mile 11 marker. So 2.1 miles to go. And you hear the water leaking here? Surprisingly, that's the only part of this tunnel where there's a leak at all. So good construction, I suppose. It's held up over the years. Okay, so if you think you want to come here and explore, but you don't think you need a flashlight, check this out. That's what you see. And I have the camera pointed right at my face. So yes, we need a flashlight. All right, so coming through the tunnel, there's a snake. Oh, it's taken off. This isn't poisonous, is it?
No, it's a black snake.
Sorry, got in your way.
Oh, you're good, I got it.
I know there's rattlesnakes down here too. Yep. So let's hope we don't see that. I wouldn't want to step on it, but it's not poisonous. But there are timber rattlers down here. In fact, I've seen a warning sign for that, so one does have to be careful. Okay, so I finished a well-deserved medal, 13.1 miles, and I wanted to check this out real quick. I'm not gonna really explore the whole thing, but this was called Cove Valley Travel Plaza. So this is what remains of a travel plaza, and this is where we parked for the turnpike, which is right over there. And this was the Cove Valley Travel Plaza at one time. Obviously you can see all the concrete, but nature is starting to take over. So I'm gonna end my video here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like what you saw, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I just want to thank you for watching the video. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody.